Captain Welcome back to part 2 of What If? Him. Zuko was embodiment of happiness and sadness. Part 2, where we left off. He turned all for one, or not all for one, the hero killer stain into an omelet. Basically like a bloody version of the omelet. Human-sized omelet. Yeah. And after he leaves, everybody is wondering what is going on here. There was this gang of thugs that turned into omelets, and now there's a hero killer stain. This doesn't make any sense. So then but he did show up at or he was watching it on the news, and Zuko was happy that his sister won in a fight thing in the Calvary battle, and because so basically Zuko who is happy about it. And of course, because and Rinko, who was like wants to see her boyfriend again. She did not care if he was quirkless or quirked, but she was a little bit happy that she saw Zuko for her a while, because during the during the USJ incident thing. So then the days go by real quick. So a time skip to All Might versus All for One. So All Might was down, but he was bleeding, but he's not dead. But then All Might, All for One stands over All Might's body, and before he shoots a beam off, he tells All Might, he points to Zuko that he's the most powerfulest person. He doesn't just have one quirk, All Might. He has two quirks, and he has two abilities. He's more powerful than anyone in the world. The entire universe is trembling. I could feel it. And as they see him as a weak person, don't let his looks fool you. His power level is over infinity. As Nezu looks at and All for One was speaking the truth. And everybody's like, okay. Even Asashi's like, when Asashi and Inko heard that their son is the most powerfulest person in the entire world, they're like, they looked at them and they're like, what? And the number or singing quirk that I told you about is actually named Quirkless. So he basically disguised his quirk from anyone. Yeah, it seems pretty weak at first glance. But when, yeah. So, yeah. So then All Might was, or as All Might says, no way. So you're saying that he's more powerful than you, or than both of us, right? Yes. It's foolish enough to deal with him. Your one-for-all quirk can't even handle his power. So now it's time for you to die. But during that time, like during the whole for one like speech, like speaking, Zuko's body, Zuko inside his head is like, he's gonna kill All Might. As All Might, or as Zuko's power level went boosted up higher and higher, his hair grew backwards. Like his hair, yeah. And All for One's about to kill All Might, but then literally few seconds in, All Might thought he was gonna die but the attack and like basically Zuko, who came in with a haymaker and sends All for One flying before All for One let off the attack. And All for One was flying through 4 buildings, holdings, as the, yeah, as All Might looks up and sees a buffed up dude that is powerful enough to destroy anyone. As he comes in, or he launches himself right at All for One, and he's beating a snot out of All for One. You lie to me, as the monster, or the dark version of Zuko says, you lied to me. I wanted to see my sister. That's all I wanted. But you lied? Bam! Bam! Boom! As he's beating her All for One around the entire thing. And at the least, as he pulls his arm out and he grabs the insides, and right before All for One even reacted, Zuko turns All for One's insides into the outsides, and he also he turned All for One into a burrito. Yeah. And because he has the power of 0, he changed or power of infinity, he changed All for One's regeneration to self-destruct. So, yeah, and he used his other, 0, to create he grabs the, I forget her name, the yellow cat. He grabs her quirk from All for One's body, or what's left of All for One, as Zuko did, because he did purge it from if All for One's things went on to him. So Zuko ends up basically hold on 1 second. No. So basically, yeah, Zuko, who was, hold on 1 second. Let's see how long. Not that long. No. Yeah, hold on. Sorry about that. So, yeah. Basically, Zuko, yeah. Recap if this video wasn't like long. So, yeah. So, hey? So basically, Zuko turns All for One. Let's do a recap before. So, top on the ladies, and welcome back to part 2. And yeah, so then the All for One, Zuko turns Hero Killer Stain during the special into a burrito, human burrito. Yeah, because the organs like came from the inside to outside, and yeah. But then a time skip to All Might versus All for One. All Might was down but not out, and All for One was giving a whole speech, and then Zuko, who Bonnie reacted because how much sadness he was, and everyone could feel the aura of Zuko's, his dark self, came out. And he beats around All for One with enough force as he bends reality to his will. And he turns buildings into like, basically, he turns buildings into like literal, like these superheroes of All Might, and everyone, including his own sisters, are basically like turning every building into everyone. And he went a step further he transformed he took the debris, and lifts it up, and he molds it into like the sun. And yeah, he turns the debris into the sun. I'm not talking about like a child thing, it's the planet. And he also took, so basically before All for One, so he did take the Pussycats' quirk out of All for One's body before he turns All for One into a bean burrito, or the burrito of humans. Yeah. And as he picks it up, he throws the All for One into the sun. that he just made, and it melted him to a puddle, or nothing left. So then he crushes it. And he's like, all right, that's that. As he turns around, as everyone is like, is still like a little bit shocked by this kid is on a whole nother level when he's on. And as he turns around, as he walks over to the yellow pussycat that was laying on the floor, and one of the other guys are like putting their hands up, not like in the air, just that, no, for like if they wanted to. Basically, they're getting into a fighting stance, but Zuko just like went right past them, or walked right through them, like they weren't even there. As Bakugo's like, what? Huh? How can this can't be possible? As he sits down, or he got onto his knees, as he basically uses his, he gives back the quirk of like searching quirk back to the yellow girl. As they're her like wondering what just happened. Yeah. And yeah. So his as he says, before I go, oh, there's one thing. As he turns around and he turns around as he heals everybody up. Like it's like him rewinding All Might says back to his prime. Basically, the wound on his stomach was like vanished. As everybody's like, man, this kid's is on a whole nother level. And All Might's like, I just thought about this. So then All Might tells Zuko that you're pretty powerful. But why did you join the villains in the first place? That was my very first option. Or not my first option. I was forced to. As he says, Lang, would you ask to be a pro hero? Or get forced to be a pro hero? To see someone that you care about for the rest of your life? Hey? As he says, my very first option was actually wanted to be a hero. But the Quark Doctor, and the All for One that I killed, tells tells me that I have two quirks. Or the quirk doctor tells me that one of my quirks was quirkless. So it's basically I can hide my original quirk. Or my number 2 quirk. And pretends to be weak. But in reality, I'm super strong. As they're like, wait, so hold on. Even Asashi's like, hold on. You're saying that so the quirk doctor was trying to say that you have a quirk, and it's called quirkless? Yeah? Yeah, as he says, yeah. As they're like, gosh dang it! As Asashi says. Yeah. So, basically, yeah. Even Bakugo was like a little bit surprised when he heard that the quirkless deku actually had a quirk that was named quirkless. So, yeah, Bakugo ends up, like, after her whole thing, he turns himself in. As everybody's like, this kid's in. As he knew, or as Yumi comes out of nowhere, Yumi walks up to her brother. And there, yeah. As she walks up to him and hugs him, yeah. And because he is so happy for him. So, and as he tells her that, remember what I said at USJ? I wanted to see you again. That wasn't actually a lie. That was the truth. When the villains took me in and told me to join, or forced me to join the villains. That actually is true, Mr. Aizawa. And his dead look made he made like everybody here because his cold death there, yeah, they're like, man, so you're actually a good person. Was forced to be, yeah. So, what does they do? Instead of throwing him behind bars and calling it a day, Nezu says, I know that you want to spend more time with your sister. How about this, Zuko? How do you feel about joining UA? Or as he turns around, or as he looks, or he did go down, or he went back to his normal happy form. I would be honored to. I wanted to join UA. Hey, Nezu? Huh? As his bright smile, I always wanted to be a hero like the rest of you. But then a whole mess came up, and yeah. As they're like, yeah. As Bakugo walks up, yeah, and says, yeah. I think as he smiles at Zuko, Man, you're pretty good, Zuko. Yeah. Hey? So, yeah. So then what do? They recruited him to join the UA. And, of course, when Rinko heard that Zuko is joining UA, hey, she's all trigger happy. Here. Rinko. I think that's how you spell her name. So she's basically happy about it. She's so happy that even like, yeah. Plus, of course, that made Momo jealous because because Momo wanted it after seeing his dark counterpart, like the long hair, black hair, long and really slim body thing, like this guy, him. Momo literally immediately fell in love with Zuko. Immediately. Like, all of them were like, or Rinko, Momo, are battling each other's. As Momo pulls out the blade to not hold back, as Momo is about to deliver a finishing blow, but then their fight got interrupted by Zuko, who in his dark or long-haired form, stops the both of them from trying to kill each other's. Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, and Rinko tells him that who would he choose to date? Well, as he says, to be honest, because I have both different personalities, I just decided to choose both of you, actually. So, yeah, Zuko ends up being he chose both of them. Not one or the other. He chose both of them. So, they both accept that. Or actually, let's say Zuko says that I would rather choose both of you. So then both of them, or so he fused both of them together into one. And yeah, or basically Ringo had like hair color and Momo's style of hair and all the way down to the shoes. Yeah. So basically they both were fused forms. And so they both were dating Zuko at the same time in the same body. Yeah. So basically Ringo and Momo are they can separate into two. Oh, but yeah. So, but they only do that when they are going home. So, yeah, their parents did not know that. So then they both had kids with Zuko. And their kids had the combined quirk of their like split personality thing with Rinko's compulsion thing and Momo's creativity. Plus they can hide their quirks. So, yeah. I was gonna my original what if thing or my original plan was for her that before in like part one, All for One immediately gives his quirk to Zuko without extra training and that stuff. Yeah. But I'm glad that I have it set in stone. Because, yeah. So, yeah. Plus, who doesn't, or who chooses to have to see All for One Hun takes over the world? If you guys want me to make a like dark version of it, like super dark, I can do it, but it takes a lot of willpower to like get me to that dark power. Don't go towards the dark side. So, yeah. Let's see how long this video took. Okay, perfect. So, an overhaul thing is not very important because one of the group's members, the ones that took Zumi's backpack, was overhaul. Oh, but Zuko killed him and his crew. So yeah. And what else? Ah, yes, I remember. Zuko. Oh, so Zumi actually got married to Todoroki and Bakugo. Or actually, Zumi. Zumi got married to Todoroki. Todoroki is happy that because when you type up like in Google thing, and you can type up in Google search of My Hero Academia, Todoroki, him, and Zumi, like basically love Zumi, him. That's Izumi, him. And there's a lot of those pictures that are like or type up female deku, that's like one image that I can never escape is that Todoroki was blushing when he saw Zumi had ice cream thing. Yeah. So, not dirty, it's just were having ice cream thing, but it was so hot that it even like, yeah, Zumi or Todoroki could, yeah. So that's why he froze his ice cream. So yeah, have fun with that image. So peace out, y'all. Peace.